Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors card review video. In this video, I'll be taking a look at one of the jackpot cards from the new Gintama collaboration seal, Kagura. Kagura is going to be a fire human card, and I'll be taking a look at her leader skill, active skill, and team skill, and letting you know my opinions about this card and whether you should pull for her or not. So let's get started with her leader skill. We have Yorosuya members and fire members get an 8 times attack bonus and an HP and recovery bonus of 1.8 times. The more groups of runestones dissolved, the higher the attack of Yorosuya members and human members to the max of times 6 for 10 groups dissolved, and the character's damage will be dealt regardless of defense. Let's take a look at the team skill because that usually benefits or complements the leader skill. We have that when Kagura is the leader and the ally is a Yorosuya member, you get an extended runestone movement time of 1 second regardlessly. Gintama members will be altered into fire attribute, and other runestones will possess 25% effect of fire runestones, while fire runestones will possess 50% effect of hard runestones. After dissolving runestones, the first batch to be dropped below the ally and leader will be enchanted fire runes, and the first batch of runestones to be dropped below Yorosuya members will be of their original attribute and race. For every 5 fire runestones dissolved, Kagura launches an extra attack as much as 150% of her own attack to the max of 5 attacks. By triggering a character runestone, your damage received will be decreased by 20%. The other team skills are they're just small bonuses that you can get. One of them is going to be when you run Gintoki as a leader. The other one is a skill CD reduction when you run one of these 5 members as a leader. And the last one is going to be the Yorosuya special, where if you have 3 Yorosuya members, you also get a 1.6 stat bonus for HP, attack, and recovery, and a skill CD reduction of -4 when you enter the stage. So overall, now let's review her leader skill. I think her leader skill is pretty good, pretty fun. I wouldn't say it's broken, but it's not bad at all. I think Kagura is going to be slightly weaker than the other two. Um, by other two, I mean Power Release Gintoki and also Shinpachi Shimura. Um, Normal Gintoki, I think Kagura is better, but I'll go into detail in my Gintoki review video. Um, and just let's say that his Power Release definitely saved him. But yeah, we'll cover that later. But yeah, for Kagura, I think she is a really good leader, or she is a good leader, but definitely not broken. She will alter your entire team to be fire attribute if you're running a mono Yorosuya team. And if you're not running a mono Yorosuya team, you should still have mono fire team so that you can benefit from this times 8 attack bonus. Times 8 is the current standard for the current meta, so that's pretty good. And it's good that she has a times 8 attack bonus. This times 6 is also going to be really easy to hit, given that her team skill guarantees skydrop on leader and ally, as well as Yorosuya members. So being able to dissolve 10 groups of runestones is actually not going to be that hard, which means that you can benefit from this times 6 attack bonus pretty consistently as well. However, this second effect only benefits humans, so if you're running a fire member that is not a human, let's say you're running Fire Yen for damage boosting, then that means that that card will not benefit from this times 6. However, you still have the flexibility of adding that fire member to your team, even if they don't benefit from this multiplier. That being said, she doesn't have any other attack increasing multipliers, which is why I think she's a little bit weaker, because times 8 and times 6 is pretty good, but that's it. If you don't trigger this times 6, she is going to be pretty weak. And even if you trigger that times 6, you might need other boosting cards to deal more damage against more tanky opponents. Since you are running a mono fire team, the other runestones possess 25% effective fire runes is going to be really good, because that will give your entire team an attacking attacking runestones for them to attack, and you also have good recovery since fire runestones possess the effect of heart runes. But yeah, Kagura also launches extra attacks, which is pretty easy to hit. You're going to get at least 2 extra attacks if you fully dissolve the leader and allies column. And if you're running other fire members in the team, You might also get actually no, you might only get the leader and ally columns as fire drops. So that is at least 2 extra attacks for Kagura, and you also get damage reduction if you dissolve a character runestone. This is going to be a little bit more challenging because if you have traffic light runes or you have electrify runes, it might be hard to dissolve character runestones, but still that 20% damage reduction is going to be pretty nice. One of the weaknesses of Kagura as a leader, other than the damage output, is going to be the lack of shield breaking potential. Her team skill and her active skill doesn't really counter any shields, so there's no fixed shield, initial shield, or combo shields that you can ignore. You can't ignore defense, but all those annoying shields that Madhis has been introducing in the game, you will have to bring team members to break those, and that will occupy one of your team slots. Nowadays, stages have a lot of requirements, so each team slot is very valuable, and having a lot of needing a lot of cards is usually not a bad and not usually not a good thing, because that means you need to bring a lot of utility and you don't have flexibility to bring damage boosting cards or more burst card options, and might have a harder time clearing the stage if you don't have like boosters or buffers. But yeah, overall, I do think she has a fun playstyle with the guaranteed skydrop. Her attack bonuses are a little bit are nice. The times 6 is nice, but it also is situational if you don't hit the 10 groups. And if you don't hit the 10 groups, then your damage output is going to be pretty low as well, since you don't have any other attack increasing team skills. But yeah, overall as a leader, she's a good leader. She can help you clear a lot of early game and mid game content. But if we get to nightmare stages and ultimate stage bosses, unless the boss or the stage is tailored for her, I do think that she will struggle a little bit with end game content. Well, now let's go to her active skill. She has a CD6 active skill with the following effect. Restore all runestones to normal state. The character's attack increases by 5 times. At the end of the round, the character enters a fatigue state for 1 round. Runestone movement time will not be stopped when tornado or laser is touched, and sticky will be nullified. I think this active skill is actually really good. It doesn't really help her as a leader. I mean, the attack bonus is pretty nice, but I think this active skill is made for her to be a member rather than using this active skill to complement her leader skill. And let me tell you, as a member, this active skill is going to be really powerful. CD6 board refresh to remove all board debuffs is going to be really good, really fast, really good to remove board debuffs such as electrify runes, cracked runes, condensed runes, petrified runes, frozen runes, etc. So that is going to be really good. The times 5 characters attack bonus also pretty nice, since you can increase your damage output. But I think for me the main appeal of this skill is the fact that you can ignore tornado, ignore laser, and also ignore sticky. Tornado and laser are very uncommon, and Madhead typically puts the tornadoes on the edges of the screen, so they're usually not that annoying. But laser traps are usually in the middle of the screen, and that means that usually you have to maneuver on the left side or on the right side, or maneuver the top or maneuver the bottom. But if you can ignore laser trap, then that means that you can freely spin without having the laser trap stop you. And as far as I know, there are very few cards that can help you ignore laser trap. So Kagura is going to be a really good counter for these enemy skills. That being said, these enemy skills are kind of rare. So if you're trying to get Kagura just for this, you might as well just bring a time tunnel, and that also helps you counter laser traps without too much issue. But if you want an easier time against laser traps, having Kagura in your team is definitely good. Sticky, there are a lot of cards that can ignore sticky, but the fact that you can ignore all three at the same time is going to be a really good bundle of utility, especially when team slots are more valuable and you need to pack a lot of utility into each single team slot. So in my opinion, I do think her active skill is pretty good. Not so much for the self-attack increase. While it's nice, I think the main utility will be to refresh the runes and also ignore these three board debuffs. But yeah. So overall, I do think Kagura is an okay leader. She's a good leader, just not suited for harder stages with many enemies, high HP enemies with annoying shields. Um, but she also has a pretty good active skill that works best as a team member rather than as a complement to her leader skill. And I do think having her in your inventory will be beneficial, especially if you want to ignore tornadoes, lasers, and sticky runes. That being said, a good time tunnel, like CD6 time tunnel, will get the same job done because unless you have a permanent sticky, you can always time tunnel your way through it. And if you have time tunnel, you can always move the rune away from the laser trap and you can still arrange your entire board without any issues. So for her active skill, there are options out there that you can use instead of her. So I wouldn't recommend spending resources into getting her. If you're going for Gintoki and you're pulling on rate up, there's a chance that you're gonna get her. So if you get her, good. But if you say you get to Gintoki, you pull 35 times and didn't get Kagura, you're not missing much on it. You can just stop at your Gintoki and don't worry about not having Kagura, because there are many other options out there that can help you clear or do whatever she does. But if you're a collector, then sure, go ahead for it. But you can save your resources if you don't get her. That's my opinion. Uh, but yeah, overall, not a bad card. Good active skill, but definitely has other substitutes in the game already. So you won't be missing out on her. But if you're a collector, again, collaboration cards don't really come back. So getting her now might be a good thing if you want to complete your index. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about this card. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if I said anything wrong. And as always, stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tower of Saviors content. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!